Test. Going live.
What?
I'm live. Okay. Live, there's nothing on the timer. Testing audio. Hello. I see no deflection. Yes.
Did Jordan find the bug or is he lying?
Did he what?
Did he find the bug or is
I don't know.
He's been doing YouTube live.
Promise you found it?
It's gone.
You swear on your life?
Yes.
I don't see any deflection on this thing. Can you guys hear me? Is the audio sounding all right? I see there is one viewer. I want to see how the audio sounds on the stream. And welcome, of course, to this stream. This is Ricky Klein, the CassetteMaster. Jordan is with me. He is a little busy at the moment, but this is a live stream. This is Jordan's wife.
Dude, I'm totally. Hey, this is working incredibly well.
Oh, good. The audio is working.
Oh, yeah.
Don't show me myself. I'm not
3
doing
viewers. Very good. Welcome to the stream. So this is live. Oh, be careful about that USB. I can't plug it in the other side because the port's borked. But it's a piece. Unreliable piece.
There you go. Sounds good now.
Yeah. So this is the early part of the stream. We just started this stream a minute and 40 seconds ago, and obviously Jordan's still busy. Me and Jordan are just going to be talking about stuff, maybe an interview or something, talking about whatever for kicks and giggles. I'm on a trip visiting Jordan in Louisiana, you see, and because of course I live in Arkansas. I drove 7 hours to come visit, a 7-hour drive minus the stopping to get some pizza on the way at Little Caesars to come visit Jordan and Tuck. I'm in Jordan's studio, SpeakerFreak95's studio here. Professional grade microphone equipment and coffee high 420. If you are watching, shout out to you. I don't know if you're watching the stream or not. We were originally going to be starting at 8, but then we got caught in all this stupid traffic. And then Jordan was preparing supper and, so obviously we weren't quite ready at 8. But now starting at roughly 8:30, we finally got the live stream going. So anyway, it's a beautiful thing to be able to use this equipment. Legitimate professional equipment. And Jordan is still busy. He's opening some kind of box. I'm not sure what is inside. It was probably Amazon. Oh, it's a shoe. Show this shoe, Jordan.
So my wife got me these shoes right here. I know this is not a good view, but this is Facebook Live, so it's as live as it's going to get.
Facebook?
These are nice. I'm not even in the...
Facebook Live? What are you talking about, brother?
Did I say Facebook
yes,
Live?
Yes, you said this is Facebook Live. I rarely ever get on Facebook.
YouTube Live.
Playing McGlaw.
Got a shoe?
Yeah, I'm not too into Facebook personally. I log on about once a year. But anyway, so if you ever send me a friend request on Facebook, it probably will sit there unchecked forever. A lot of people these days in this era of social media are so addicted to Facebook that they can't get off their phones. Everyone's up. Be careful, okay? Because I have coffee behind me, and if you get back into me and knock this over, that won't be good. And also, the Niagara's right under you, Jordan. He's already been on the stream anyway. Flaming glow. Jordan's trying to get his wife on picture, and his wife is resisting with great force. Yet she's already been in the beginning of the stream. So
oh, there she is again. Wow, that was cool. She said, "That's it, and that's all."
That's it.
So I'm cooking dinner in the other room.
Hamburger
helper, because we're doing it on the cheap tonight. And so this is. Dude, you better be careful with that coffee. You know what coffee does to boards.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is not the board to spill coffee on, but I don't think he will. It's the CassetteMaster. So hopefully this audio is good. I forgot his sound card at work, so we're literally jumping out of a extra line output into his built-in line input on his computer. So hopefully it's usable. Stereo unbalanced.
It's still stereo. If we have musical samples that like are copyright free or whatever, maybe we could play some over the soundboard just to see how that comes out.
It would work just fine. It sounds okay on my end on my phone, but of course that's just through a phone speaker.
Would you like to do that interview we were going to do?
We can do that, but I gotta watch dinner. I don't want to burn dinner.
Right, we don't want burnt food.
Is it me or is the video backwards?
So during monitoring of a live stream, the video is backwards like a mirror, but the actual recording is proper.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Indeed.
And this is not a good view of me. Any view of me is not good. So
what are you talking about, Jordan? You look amazing.
No, I don't. No, the wife looks amazing. And I'm thinking everybody that just saw her on here, even without makeup, yeah, she looks amazing.
Well, I'm a strong believer.
I think all of us look amazing. Let's just be real with ourselves here.
I'm a strong believer that makeup is not necessary.
True.
A woman
I believe in that.
does not need to wear makeup to look attractive.
Yep. She just needs to be her. Honestly, be herself, her true self. Guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry. When it comes to me and women, I actually prefer no makeup. So anyway, more coffee, drinking out of a Yeti. This is a legitimate Yeti. And it's Jordan's. It's not mine, but it's just classic, a Yeti, They're so classic. So, anyway. Yes, Jordan. Jordan was laughing about something. I don't know what he was laughing at, but he was going, battery maker, I like pound cake. Oh, man, battery maker. Very good to hear from you, battery maker.
Hey, Bill, if you can hear me, I still have all those radios, and I'm still thankful to this very day. Thank you for that. Hope you're doing well. The reason why I laughed, Ricky, is because I just happened to pull out my phone, and I pulled up the live stream, and I just hear you go with the coffee, and it was just hilarious. It was absolutely classic. It was hilarious.
Was it detailed?
It was relatively detailed. You were kind of off axis, so it didn't really get...
Let's give it another shot.
Wait. The wife just screamed, "I'll be back."
I'll be back. Quote our good friend Arnold. We got 3 viewers now. Battery maker's wife is thankful as well.
I can see why. My wife's not exact. Well, she doesn't know the backstory of some of these radios. Anyways, man, I look awful. I'm not in a good angle. Let's see.
Voice test. Okay. So, viewers, audio sound good to you guys? I mean, obviously,
it sounds great through my iPhone's blown ass speaker, but it's okay. There's not any real good angle to get this. I wonder if we could set the computer up here on the console.
It might be a bit
not
of a
on
challenge.
The faders, but all right, we're gonna do this live.
Headphone cord. Remember that cord's short. USB on the side, power on the back. They're going to get all convoluted. At the mouse and excuse me, I burped into a professional mic. Compressed audio. Sorry. Imagine me on an actual radio station. Burp, cough. I don't care about the cough button. Just burp on the air. Of course, they probably wouldn't allow that on the air. But anyway, I'm covered up now. Move this mic.
Wait.
Yeah, the clip-on camera.
In case anybody wants to see the setup here, that's how it goes.
Can you hear you? He said, in case anyone wants to see the setup here it goes.
How about these lips?
Jordan's lips. Jordan. Oh my goodness. Jordan is an amazing person. He makes me laugh. When he drives, he said something woohoo in a negative way because of all the traffic.
I don't know what's going on in the Metairie, Kenner area, but we were just passing through, and I know it's out of focus, but let me explain something here. The freaking traffic was insane. I don't know why, but out of nowhere, it was was just ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stop talking for a second and let you
We had
continue.
this one guy in a
'Cause I'm gonna
pickup
fix the
truck.
camera.
No, we had this one guy earlier, not in a pickup truck. Well, earlier we had some pickup truck teenagers just being goofy and silly, but later we had this one car not using his blinker multiple times. So I noticed like everyone is so many people don't use their freaking blinker. It's ridiculous.
No.
We narrowly avoided a collision because Jordan was moving his bug over with his blinker while some truck pulling a trailer or something started to move over without his
a blinker.
blinker.
A blinker is an optional feature. I guarantee the people down here who drive, and I don't mean to offend anybody who I actually know, but it's like an optional feature. There's probably spider webs hanging off of some of these. You're scaring me with that coffee, dude. You're
Don't
really
worry,
scaring
brother.
me with that coffee. I can't be the only one chatting. Where's the rest of you? It's true, man. I'm telling you, YouTube is just quiet here lately. Everything's quiet here lately. I don't know what the deal is. What you doing, boy?
I can't move that over.
Oh, that's my computer
Part of
monitor.
the screen's blocked. Well,
Yeah, I mean, we literally just hooked this up on the fly.
Yeah.
I literally have the camera attached to my lamp, and you know what? For on the fly, this worked pretty well.
Yeah.
In case anybody's wondering, his microphone is an Electro Voice RE20. The microphone processor is a
Thank you for burping, sir.
Symmetrix 528. And that mine's the same, except this is an RE320. His mic will soon be replaced with an RE320 as well, and that'll be a backup.
Jordan, I want to thank you very much for burping on mic.
I don't normally do that. Now I gotta. He's molesting my hand. I'm
Fist
just
bump.
playing. I'm just playing.
Fist bump.
Yeah, that works. So, anyways, still scaring me with that coffee, and you don't even have it in your hand. So,
Oh, lamp just got hit.
I hear a wife. I'll be back.
A wife.
Nope.
Something I don't have.
Ladies, if you're looking for a man who will clean your pinch roller, he's got you. No, but in all seriousness, he's a good guy. And, you know,
About as single as I come. Okay.
why do you keep doing that to yourself? He's being so negative. Oh,
My
yeah.
views anyway, whatever.
Can you serve the food? She asked. That's right. I was cooking dinner again. I'll be back.
So,
Oh.
at some point, we should get into a bit more of a groove where we can be more consistent, because I think we're going to be doing an interview on this stream. But, of course, we have some hamburger helper. Now, Jordan. Oh, Jordan.
What?
What's your thoughts on eating hamburger helper on the live stream?
It's 2019. I know somebody's got a fetish about watching CassetteMaster eat food. That's all I've got to say. And it ain't me.
What about you, Jordan? Eating food, brother? A fetish about
All right.
Jordan.
Typically, I don't actually get even in front of the camera, so this is a lot for me to do. No fetishes, nothing like that. I just don't like when people watch me eat. And the only people who've ever watched me eat are strangers that don't know me, or they think they know me and they're wanting to go up and say something to me in a restaurant. And typically whatever. I don't know why I'm on a tangent on this. Eating on a live stream,
Sea
because
grinder.
it's live. What are you sea grindering about?
I moved my head over. The headphone quickly struck this metal.
And it made a noise, I'm sure.
And I said sea grinder.
I think the longer you're on here, the camera's working right today.
Yeah. Well, see, the YouTube live stream gets the camera right. It's online that
he's
doesn't
got a
work.
question. Battery
Uh-huh.
Maker asks, Ricky, how many recorders and or players do you have in your collection? You got to answer this truthfully.
Over 200.
You're freaking joking, right?
No.
Dude, you're joking.
Back in 2009,
What if I pan the
2010
microphones?
Whoa, wow.
I wonder if I pan the microphones.
I have a question for all you viewers.
Is it stereo?
Is it
Is it stereo?
Actually stereo, because obviously, I don't know if live stream does mono audio or not. Is it stereo?
I don't know. I can
Well,
go
now
back
it's
and
mono
watch that.
again.
It's mono again, and we're just going to leave it that way. 'Cause
Okay.
he
It was
said
cool
nope.
when it
V.
was
Dennis said nope. That name sounds
Oh,
familiar. I know who that is.
It's mono now. You want to go back to stereo?
Now it's mono. All right. I tell you what. I'm going to move my mic to the left channel. Now, if
Okay.
anybody can hear, actually,
Move me
yeah,
to the right.
move you to the
I'm
right.
on the right channel. Right now, I'm
YouTube is mono. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to leave it in
That's
mono.
terrible live stream mono.
You know
audio.
what,
Oh,
though?
well.
The fact is, I don't think YouTube would invest the time and effort to make a live stream stereo. There's just no reason for it. Guys, I'll be right back. I have to go serve food, and then I'll be back, and then
Yeah.
you can just
You
get your
were
own
saying
food,
something
boy.
earlier, though.
What was I saying?
What it was. I don't remember.
There's wires everywhere, dude, for this computer.
Yes, so stay tuned. We'll be doing some kind of, we're back in full mono on the soundboard anyway, and of course mono YouTube to begin with, so wouldn't have heard a difference. But anyway, we're back. Well, he's going to get food. Sometime I'm going to get food. I'm planning. Is it okay if I eat over here? I'm planning to eat live. I'm going to eat my hamburger helper live because this live stream started before supper. And some of you guys already know that I eat live on camera. Well, eat on camera, such as on the At My Desk series, which I purposely try to make it as extreme as I can. Pretty much, I love getting all the eating and the burping and the everything through the lapel mic when I do that. I do it on purpose because the effect, because just the way it is. Hello from Russia. Yes. Good morning. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome. So anyway, so at some point, of course, Jordan's going to be coming over and we're going to be talking, interviewing some more. But for the time being, I might say show my Nagra machine. And I can hear Jordan has his iPhone going on. For China. Yes, hello. So we got Jordan has his phone on. And I can hear my own stream. Speaker Freak just commented on it too, which is the other guy in the stream who was in the stream. And he'll be back. Hello, everyone. I'm in the kitchen. That's about a 4-second delay. Okay. Yeah, he was listening to it, and he's got a delay. It shows a digital delay going on, all the processing, everything. The World Wide Web, the information super highway. So I got a Niagara 3. I love this recorder.
I can second that. He's pretty crazy.
I love this recorder.
How much was that when you purchased it? It must have cost a lot.
It's $450.
Did you buy that through eBay?
Yes.
Okay. Was it free shipping?
Yes.
It better have been free shipping
yeah.
for 400
Yeah,
some odd
was.
dollars. You know, as far as pricing is considered for a Nagra, that's probably a medium price, medium small era price. How's the volume in the headphones? You good?
Yes, the volume is excellent.
Sounds good on YouTube. There's like a little bit of white noise, and I think it's the preamp on your computer. Just, it is what it is.
Excuse me.
Oh, let's see. Yes, I can see my own comment.
Yes.
In case anybody wants to know, that picture on YouTube of my YouTube channel is now my wife and myself at our first dance together. Don't know why I chose that as a YouTube profile picture, but I did, and it's stuck for a long time. Is that a 111 Spring Reverb? Yes, a 111B, and I've upgraded the op amps in it.
Wait a second.
And recapped it.
Could we reverb over there?
I don't have those patched in.
Oh,
I don't have. It's a Spring Reverb. In fact, if we're going to ask questions about the studio, why don't we just pick up this camera?
Yeah, and it's got a short cord. Just keep that in mind. And then, of course, if any of you wonder about the my YouTube my current YouTube profile picture, it's actually a temperature type photo. Like it's actually from a thermal imaging camera took that picture. Indeed. We got a comment
USB
about
cable.
more equipment over here. Oh, and then there's a little
There's
speaker.
the console. There's the Q speaker. This
love
is
that
from
speaker.
1978, this console. And you can see the 2 microphone channels that are on. And it's a simple setup. Basically, it's really simple. The only thing you're hearing are mic processors. and an output amplifier. That's it. Nothing after that. The compeller, this is the Audition computer processing. It's also followed by this Orban 8200 studio chassis. I don't want to get into that discussion because I can talk all day about it.
This man.
Hold on. What's that
loves
noise?
his
What's that noise?
That's me going.
No. Stop. It's raining outside. I thought that was some kind of white noise or something.
Thank goodness we missed that rain earlier today when we were driving, because the past few days here, the rain has been redonkulous.
This thing came off.
It comes off the camera all the time.
Super glue.
I'll have to
Hot glue.
Well, high temperature hot. Because I'm lazy.
She's hot. All right, here, fix this. I think I put the thing
Let me
on.
let me see it. Let me see it.
This is, I'm sure for the people that are watching this are either
It's
extremely
stuttering.
dizzy or they're turning it off by now because I'm just continuously fiddling with this camera.
And I'm stuttering live.
Battery Maker says, go ahead and talk about it. He's not on the clock. Well, okay. Hold on.
The rubber on right? There. Camera
Said like
has
a
been-
true virgin. Is the rubber on right? I think it is. It is kind of its own radio station. Is it 88T? Is that named after a cartridge? 88T? Is that a phono cartridge? Ribbed for her pleasure. Oh, good Lord. He's just said ribbed ... And I'm not going to take this comment any farther because, Anyways, I don't know what I'm going to talk about on here,
we
but
can do that interview. Let's do that interview.
let's
You
do
have
that.
little audio sample, or can it not play through here because of the microphone compressors
it
only?
can, but I don't want to fire up the computer. Anyways, yeah, I'm lazy. I just fired up the most basic equipment to make this YouTube stream happen. Yeah. Do you want some? Let me go ask the wife how I cooked. I could have done badly. I could have struck out, guys. This could be it. This could be all you ever hear from me. If I return from the bedroom, we're good.
Okay, so the stream continues. I thought he had a audio sample that was going to be played on the air. The computer is unfortunately de-energized at this point. But anyway, we'll still be doing an interview just without the pre-recorded thing that he made earlier. Live stream coffee. It's a real way to drink coffee. Don't just drink coffee. Drink it live on the internet. Today's day and age, the internet has completely transformed society. People have become addicted to their computers and to their smartphones. Let me find my phone. LOL. OMG. Texting. LOL. A like on Facebook. And multiple friends. Facebook has addicted much of society. Social media has had an incredible power on most of the world, or at least the world that is exposed to modern technology. And it is incredible the effect that it has had on society. When you walk in public, you typically see people. They're not looking up. They're looking slightly downward. And what are they looking at?
These nuts.
Got him. They're looking at their phones. LOL, Raffle, and OMG. The cell phone and social media and the power of the internet has completely changed society. My cooking could kill if thrown at 50 paces. Wow. About 1990s, early 90s internet using. That's awesome. I remember the first time I ever saw the internet was in the late 90s. And of course, it was dial up. It was on a Windows 95 computer. My mother was showing me the internet, and I was like 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old at the time. And it was a pretty cool thing to see those pictures slowly loading up. And at that particular time in my life, my interest at that time mainly was not tape recorders and not even really, well, at the time she was showing me the internet, the interest was basically music boxes. At a time when I was interested in music boxes, mechanical music boxes. The computer is starting up.
I'm not really trying all that hard, but I made a thing for the interview, which is actually a separate recording, and we'll go ahead and play that now real quick.
Okay, so this is official interview time.
Join us live in studio with YouTuber CassetteMaster.
This is the Cassette Master, and welcome to my video.
Who is he? What's he do? What's his YouTube channel history? We'll find all that out and more coming right up.
And this is where I fade the music out and be all professional. Ricky, are you there?
Yes, I am. Welcome to this professional interview.
I made that in about 30 seconds with Adobe Audition, 2 channel strips on this console, and Bluetooth into the console to get his YouTube audio. What video was that? Can you name it? I don't even know.
That was one of the At My Desk series videos.
Sound like you had a cold or something, but it actually worked.
So the At My Desk videos were specifically made only when I have a low voice from laryngitis while having
All American 5
cold.
Radio says the McKinsey brothers, strange crew. What's the significance of that? I'm sorry, I don't understand the significance of that, though. Do you like Barney the Purple Dinosaur? I used to watch when I was a child. Yeah,
I'll be honest, I've never been into Barney.
it started to creep me out. How about this? 2 characters that creeped me out when I was about 4 or 5 was Big Bird, I think off of Sesame Street, and Barney the Purple Dinosaur. That got to the point that it started to freak me out. Like, I don't know why.
He's from the Cretaceous.
Baby Bop? What was Baby Bop? Was that like Kids Bop, but for babies?
I don't really know.
I know Kids Bop used to aggravate me. I used to turn the TV off entirely when those commercials would come on.
I hate commercials. Commercials are so dang annoying. Oh, viewers out there, if you don't know about a particular program ad blocker called uBlock Origin, I highly recommend it. It's just the letter U and then BLOCK, uBlock Origin. You can easily add it to Google Chrome or Firefox. It
Chrome?
will change your... I use Firefox normally.
Anyways, sounds like Battery Maker has some...
It'll change your life.
Sounds like Battery Maker has some broadcast experience. A Fidelipac cart. I haven't heard anybody say that in
Oh
forever.
my goodness.
There's
Carts.
some Fidelipac carts in the closet you haven't seen.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're not
Carts,
going
carts,
to because
carts,
the pads are
carts.
rotted on them. And I
Gotta
don't
love
have a
those
cart machine
continuous
right
loops,
now.
am I right? Woo!
Continuous loops like the...
It's like a 4-track.
He said he was a frustrated TCOM student. I'm just a lost ball in high weeds right now. I don't even know what's going on. Let's see, what does Mr. Computer say?
I am a computer.
Yeah, it's not going to
and
say anything.
I am a piece of machinery. I process your data.
Telecommunications.
Okay.
Cart players that work with floppies. I do too. I have a
That's
360
amazing.
Systems instant replay that has a floppy disk drive. And then I have some PRNE Tomcat cart machines that are going to go all across the console right here. That's a
gonna look
future endeavor. I
cartastic.
have to actually go drive and pick those up. It's going to be like a 400-mile trip, but they're free. They come with 3 parts: motors, heads, entire transport mechanisms, replacement buttons, op amps, cards, outfit transformers, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to make a full PRNE and Orban studio. I've got a good start at least. And I'm hooking him up with his first mic processor.
Mm-hmm.
The audio was on the floppy. Yes. Yeah, that's the way this was too. You either recorded audio to the floppy disk or it played back from it. And it was an odd not algorithm, but an odd compression.
Excuse me.
Well, that's cool.
I just had another burp on.
You got to quit
on the
burping
ear.
on that microphone, or you're going to have to take the pop filter off and wash all that puke out of it. Anyways.
Okay. So I guess you're getting your food?
Yes.
Okay. First, air suction. 100 grand. That's just too steep for me. Pretty good coffee, to say the least. ASMR, heck yeah. Jordan's listening to my stream in the kitchen. I can hear my laugh after I laugh. A 3-second delay now, according to the man himself, Jordan Tuck. Jordan, I can sing to you through your cell phone. Frozen screen. Jordan, do you have a frozen screen?
No.
Okay, so currently Jordan's screen is not frozen, so it's working for him. Not good to have a frozen screen. It's scary. Here's Jordan Tuck. He's got his food. So let's just move this mic a little bit here. Hopefully the spring doesn't pop off and knock out my eye.
Turn my mic off. Quit hitting my button so hard, boy.
And now he is on.
He hits these console on-off buttons like he's an actual DJ who's not an engineer who doesn't have to replace them. Yeah. Please be gentle with that console. Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Haha, turns your mic off. Use this one, dude.
Okay, so anyway. Oh, wrong button. So, continuing in this live stream, I think I'm going to go get some food as well.
All right, I guess I'll take over for a minute.
Do. All right, so I've been passing around an idea. I'm going to just take over his stream for a second to talk about my YouTube channel. I know that's kind of selfish, maybe, but I wanted to ask anybody some questions. I know a lot of subscribers on Ricky's channel also subscribe to me. Thank you. Would you like me to start putting out videos on a normal basis? Like, for example, Shango066, I think, uploads every Monday. Is that something you all would like? Let me know in the comments section. Right now, with life being so busy as it is, with my job and being a husband, I'm married now, uploading on a normal basis is not an impossible task, but it's something that I haven't managed to do yet. So, I can hear him. He's digging in the silverware. He shut the drawer. It all depends on your schedule. My schedule's usually pretty free. Wednesday evenings. The wife's at school late on Wednesday evenings, and I usually get home early on Wednesday evenings. I don't hear him coming back to the studio yet. Have you seen my life? I think I dropped it here. What's that supposed to mean? Anyways, here he is. He's got the hot sauce again. Let me tell y'all something about being around Ricky Klein for over a week now. This makes 2 weeks I've been around him. This boy likes hot sauce. Yeah, besides the time at JRC Studios. This boy likes hot sauce on everything. I don't know what it is. And I can understand that. I can understand some hot sauce here and there, but this boy eats hot sauce on waffles. This boy eats hot sauce on Pop-Tarts. He eats hot sauce on his Niagara tape recorder. I'm not even joking. I like hot sauce, but I don't like pain with my food. So,
Like me.
yeah, I gotta have material to post. Oh, you gotta bring your fader up. Yep, duh.
I
See,
like
I'm
it when
sucking.
my food bites back.
That's an interesting slogan there.
I like a good balance of heat and flavor.
It's good to feel the food as you consume it, but I don't like to cry in pain after I'm done in the bathroom or at the dinner table. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat my food. Sit down, boy.
Okay. So, okay. Here I am. I'm live. And I've got food. This is Hamburger Helper, prepared by the one and only Jordan Tuck.
Do I open up a black hole if I show the... To open up a black hole if I forget to turn my microphone on? Here we go. Look at that delay. Holy cow, that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Cow, that's
Cow, that's kind of cool. Cow, cow, cow. Cow. Speaking of cows, the animal that I'm eating in this food is the common cow. The cow has been killed. Its flesh ground, cooked, and put into some good food. And then with this Louisiana's Pure Crystal Hot Sauce, consisting of aged red cayenne peppers, distilled vinegar, and salt, the food will be doctored up to have its flavor enhanced. And now, with sounds being picked up by a professional grade microphone, complete with compressor, the food will be eaten. Obviously, it's not as extreme sounding as it does, or as it sounds over a lapel mic and as in At My Desk, because the At My Desk series, there's no noise gate or anything of the sort as on here. So weak sounds here tend to be very weak. If I smack, it's a bit more noticeable because of their louder sounds. So, but anyway, this is a good food. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate this meal. I apologize for hitting the board like a DJ. Eating, eating live, bro. Some point in the future, I'm going to make some more videos about the Sony TC905 and the TC905A portable reel-to-reel tape recorders to do a compare and contrast between those two machines, because they're very similar, but there are some differences between the two machines. So sometime in the near future, I'll be making a video on that. I've been meaning to do that, and I've been putting it off, and I realize that's not the best idea in the world. I think I want to start having a regular schedule too for video uploads, probably every Monday. Though this particular Monday is drive home, so probably not that Monday. and Jordan wants to speak, and I keep talking, and he's like,
I'm just doing that to mess with you, to be honest with you. I really am. I'm just messing with you.
I thought you legitimately were like, I want to speak now. And you're like, oh, man.
Tomorrow, we're going to the flea market together. It's going to be really interesting. Do we know what flea market? Should we get that information out? I'm afraid somebody would come out and try to rob us or something. Hey, it's those guys. Never mind.
The chances
Anyways,
of the viewers being anywhere near
phone?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana is unlikely.
Yeah, we're going to be in Baton Rouge tomorrow at around 9 o'clock or so. We're going to go to the flea market. Do you think we should go live from there?
I guess if we could
That
do
might
it
be
over.
fun.
Well, the thing, I mean, if I go in live, I got to have my phone out. I got to be filming everything, but I want to concentrate on looking for machines and keeping my eyes peeled.
How about we go live after we found some things?
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
sounds better.
specifically going there to bring home more equipment. If you've seen my house, you would say you need more equipment, like you need testicular cancer. So,
yeah, I'm going there though on a hunt for more.
you know, if I
tape
find something
recorders.
cool, I'll go home with it. But
Yeah,
I also don't want to piss the wife off.
yeah. For me, I'm going to try to find more portable reel-to-reels mainly. Although
The
other
flea
recorders
markets
too.
here are decent. I've never actually been to one. Tomorrow will be the first day. I've only lived in this area for about 6 months now, and I really like it. It's hot and it's nice, and people unfortunately don't use their turn signals a whole lot, but the flea markets really seem
Yes,
pretty fair down here. Facebook Marketplace, if it's any indicator of how much gear and equipment is here, radios, tape players, recorders, literally at work earlier, just on a whim, I got on Facebook Marketplace and just typed in tape player, and I found 6 or 7 different reel-to-reel machines for pretty decent prices. People know what they have around here, so the prices aren't ridiculously low, but they're not. McKenzie Brothers, The Strange Brew, 1983 movie. You hosers. Again, that word. I used that word earlier in the car.
It made me laugh so hard.
I called somebody who called me I'm sorry. I called somebody a hoser who cut me off. And it was funny. So, yeah, I'm going to have to watch that movie.
And then, Jordan, for your information, the flea market is a 49-minute drive.
What is the flea market? That's what I was trying
The
to...
flea market of Louisiana.
The flea market of Louisiana. There's probably more than one
I think
location.
it's that one, though.
That one. He says it's that one.
I
So
think.
he
operative
thinks
words.
it's that one.
Let me click on it. Yes, I use the term click. I'm not going to say
Click.
tap on it. I'm
Click.
so
Let me
ingrained
tap
using
it.
the term
Wrap
click.
it before you tap it. I don't know where that came from.
So,
Hey,
it updated itself to 54 minutes after I clicked on it.
I think his
It's in
phone makes up for...
Prairieville.
It's in Prairieville.
That's-
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, I think that's
Either
it. then.
way, so you're New Orleans or Baton Rouge. I
Baton
don't want
Rouge.
to. I don't want
Red
to. I don't want to discern that. If you actually want to know, message me on Facebook. Well, I don't want to make that public
Yeah.
information, but I am in the Louisiana area.
Yeah. You can message
I spend a lot of
SpeakerFreak95 on
time in New
Facebook.
Orleans, and I spend a lot of time in Baton Rouge. I work in Baton Rouge, and I spend a lot of other time in New Orleans, if that kind of helps. So
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of both. Just say yes. Yes. Yes to both.
Yes.
Did you empty my crystal hot sauce?
No.
This boy eats hot sauce on Hamburger Helper.
It's delicious.
If that's not the trashiest white trash thing I ever seen in my life, I haven't even eaten my food yet. It's cold. Like a cow.
Yeah, I'm eating a cow.
You are eating some cow.
Yeah, it's a good cow.
I'm relatively far away from the storms. If a storm hits, if it gets really bad, I'm just going to leave. Thankfully, where I'm physically located right now, it's up in the air. So flooding isn't necessarily a big issue. But if it gets real bad, I'm ripping this console out of the desk. I'm getting my car and I'm leaving. So, he is going to shoot some flames tonight. And you know what, Ricky? I'm
Shoot flames?
sorry. Yeah, we're not going to let you in on that. You're going to shoot flames tonight.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, I have not
I would
had
need Ghost Pepper to
crocodile.
shoot some flames.
Is crocodile a food you have? I've not had anything like that yet.
I believe it is actually a food, but I haven't actually eaten it before.
I haven't tried anything like
I'm
that.
curious what it tastes like. I mean, I've never eaten a reptile before. I wonder
I
what
haven't
a reptile
either.
tastes like.
I've had chicken and regular food, regular poor white people food. I'm not poor, but I'm happy where I am. Not rich either. I'm rich and good friends in person and on YouTube and Facebook and work. But I'm not friends with people who don't use their freaking turn signal. Don't tell me it tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken, especially to Ricky Klein because his taste buds are so muted because he eats so much spicy food.
This is a long-standing. I've noticed this with multiple people. People that don't like super hot sauce always think that hot sauce, quote, burns your taste buds. It does not burn your taste buds. I taste
His tongue is clipping.
It just enhances and adds to the flavor, and it tastes amazing.
The most exotic thing I've ate, I can't divulge that on YouTube. I'm just playing. The most exotic thing I've eaten, man, that's going to take some thought here. Let me think about that for a second because
Crab Rangoon.
Crab Rangoon, I don't think
messing
makes the
with you.
list. I promise you, don't think Crab Rangoon from a random Chinese restaurant is going to make the list. That's a good question, and I really don't know. I wonder if we should go live on my YouTube channel in a little bit. We'll try it, see what everybody else thinks.
Provided it works.
Provided that it works. For some reason, let me go on a micro rant here for a second. So I had a video of an Altec Lansing speaker, just an old movie theater speaker that came out of a mono theater. I literally pulled it off the scaffolding behind the screen because they were upgrading to digital. So they were replacing it all with JBL stuff. Anyways, sparing the details, is Ricky familiar with the store Mo Hada Mo Betta?
Mo Hada Mo Betta.
I guess.
That
Mo
name
money, mo
sounds
problems.
Familiar, but I'm not familiar with the store.
Anyways, I don't know. Maybe that's a typo. Anyways, there was a copyright strike put on my YouTube channel, SpeakerFreak95. And that really upset me. And I know VWest Life, for example, has touched on this issue where people can manually go in and select music. And I think fair use is under a few seconds. I don't know. I think it's like 5 seconds and under.
Wow.
I had less than that for the particular song that I went back and watched the video on my hard drive. And there's a particular song by, I think it's Don Henley was the song. It was the artist, rather. And I think it was Sunset Grill or whatever that song I played in that video. And I made sure to keep the seconds down, in order to prevent copyright problems.
Wow.
Somebody went in and manually detected the song, and I think it was 3 or 4, maybe 5 seconds at tops. The video was deleted and removed from YouTube entirely. I now can no longer see the actual timestamp. The person who manually created the claim
That makes me
and
angry.
the strike against my channel could not provide me with that information. In fact, they actually asked me, can you send the video to me so we can review it? No, the video doesn't exist anymore. So I was able to actually backtrack and get a URL and send that to him and never heard back from him. So it was some generic email that YouTube provided me with to contact the claimant.
Unbelievable.
And it's just one more strike in my patience.
Pisses me off.
So, I mean, what do I have to play through? We're an
Especially-
audio equipment YouTube channel, myself and Ricky included. What are we supposed to do? It's not like a 56-year-old speaker out in a field in the middle of Georgia being recorded through a Zoom recorder is going to affect the sales of that particular song. Rants
Especially
over
5 seconds worth of a particular
like
song.
5 or 6 seconds. I don't even think it was
sake.
that long. But anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. I don't think anybody really honestly cares. I personally don't care anymore. I'm over it. Claimants are...
What did he say?
I almost said it. I almost said it over the air. I can't. You have to get up and read this.
Yeah.
So I haven't had monetization blocked on my YouTube channel for any length of time, but I had a copyright strike, which I think lasts for a period of about 3 months or so. I'm not entirely sure.
Mm.
And if I get another copyright strike between now and 3 months from now, I don't know what's going to happen. Guess what I had to do in order to even access my YouTube channel? I had to attend copyright school.
Yeah, it's stupid.
If anybody's had to attend copyright school, you know how aggravating that is. It's
Yeah.
stupid. It's like 15 questions, and it basically, it's worded in such a way that it's just so generic and doesn't really make any sense. I don't really quite understand it myself, but I don't know, man. It was ridiculous, but I'm over it. And I'm still going to make YouTube videos no matter what. For the loyal viewers that still watch, So, yeah, do y'all still watch my channel? I know you watch Ricky's channel. I've heard your tech calls, the old videos from years ago, and those were hilarious. Were those I got a question, Bill, battery maker, however you want me to call you. I'm sorry if I wasn't supposed to use your name. Were those recorded through cassette? Like, were they backed up? In the South, they do not use the term signals, but you can still tell which way they are going to turn because they lean over. Yes. That's fine. He says they were real. I know they were real. I have no doubts about that. I thought those videos were absolutely hilarious. I might need to show you videos of Battery Maker back in the day, many years ago, several jobs ago. I would imagine he was at a call center. And
that freaking, oh my gosh, the tech support where the guy was going nuts and like tearing up his computer and his like wife was getting upset or something.
So.
Oh my gosh. Oh, don't get me started. Oh, wow. Oh, was the best thing in the world.
Ricky, you sound like a single mother.
Oh my gosh. I love listening to crazy tech support people.
It's hilarious.
Crazy customers on tech support calls. They go so nuts. And then reading tales from tech support on Reddit is also extremely fun. They go in. The stories are amazing. They'll read and hear and wow. They're recorded directly off the phone. They had a recording feature.
That tech support recording blew my mind. Speaking of tech support, there's another video I saw. It was some presentation some guy gave in like 2006, and he played a recording of a tech support recording where the customer was saying, "Give me a new mouse. Give me a new mouse. Give me
Ricky, we have neighbors.
I'm trying to keep my screen from being maximum volume.
I know,
for
but
that
it's
very
still,
reason.
You still have some impact there.
But yeah, that guy was screaming over the phone. It blew my mind. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so Battery Maker says he didn't actually take that call, but he found the recording and reposted it.
Oh,
it was HP customer support call, I guess.
Wow. I'd like to hear that.
Oh, the
amazing.
videos are gone now.
Yeah, I searched it recently.
Man, if you want to email those to me, if you have the original files, those will be worth saving. But yeah, I got to get this drink away from my board. It's water.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to hear that again too. That absolutely blew my mind. It's one of the best. So
if anybody's interested in knowing,
I
started watching this cat's videos when I was in middle school. I just wanted to add that. Probably 2006, 2007.
2007, I wasn't, I started this channel on January 28th, 2007.
Definitely in 2000 when he was still a little baby nugget on YouTube.
I was, when I started it, I was still 15 years old. I turned 16 that year.
Battery Maker, that is the first time when I watched that video, that was the first time I've ever heard that word. If anybody wants to know what I'm talking about, just look in the comment section of this stream and you'll see the word. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. That is hilarious. The first 40 years of childhood are the most difficult. That's funny. 40 years of childhood. I don't know. I almost kind of feel attacked and almost kind of feel like I agree with that, but I don't know. Really.
I'm only 28. I still got 12 more years to go.
I can understand being upset with people. I get upset with people all the time, but not for phone calls. Speaking of phone calls, did anybody get junk phone calls from like, "We've been trying to reach you about your vehicle's extended warranty." You know, stuff like that. Just Ricky, I think, even gets them sometimes.
Yes, I hate those freaking robocalls. I just man.
Sometimes you just gotta let people have it.
Oh, it's funny.
As to what Battery Maker's saying,
and he'll make silly noises over the phone to the scammer and insult the guys. And
I won't insult them, but no, I won't insult people. But I'll be real with them. You know, just ask. Well, anyways, what I'm saying is, these junk phone calls. Shango066 does a really good job with it. If you watch any of his videos, he'll just add that in the video. Like if he's filming a video and they call him on his phone, he'll just add that in the video, and he usually does a pretty good job of messing with them.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
I think I think you've actually seen the video I posted back when I was still in
you
Georgia.
were like, and the meters were moving and
Well, that
stuff.
was in the studio, yeah. But,
Yeah.
I went on for over an hour, almost an hour and a half with one particular guy. And it was a couple of different guys, but I kept getting the same guy over and over
Oh,
again.
my goodness.
Because they couldn't hang up on me.
Oh,
And so eventually I made him so mad because I wasted his time for so long
That's
that
so
he
beautiful.
threatened to kill me and my family. And he said he wanted to meet me somewhere,
Wow.
which will never happen.
Yeah,
but-
seriously. Meet me somewhere so I can kill you and your family. Why would I want to meet you? You
The
crazy
speakerphone,
person.
the speakerphone picked it up. And
You're a
was-
spam
yeah, that-
caller to begin with. You work
Dude,
at a
I'm
spam
sorry.
call center.
Dude, I'm
Oh.
sorry about that.
So what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Can't make it public.
It's already
I
public.
mean, I guess it is public in the comments section,
Plus,
but
I can always listen to the recording anyway.
Ricky, you're being so loud. Turn it down a little bit. I'm going to eat my food. I'm going to get out of frame.
The stream is live, but after it's live, it will be an archived stream, and it will merely be a recording. That's beautiful. Read the comment.
Oh yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Scam calls, robocalls. I wonder what it's like to actually work at a call center that does scam calls.
I've got the hookup for barbecue potato chips. Battery maker, you did this.
Barbecue flavored family size.
Got to get the crinkling in the microphone. Grippos. They're made in Cincinnati, and they are apparently they're
The
pretty
barbecue
spicy.
flavor is too barbecuey.
Too barbecuey.
I'm not really that big into potato chips, to be honest, although I do enjoy like the chips at Mexican restaurants, and I love Cheez-Its. But typical potato chips are like okay, but
Lay's
Not
potato
by
chips selling
typically.
you bags of air since I don't know when.
we should research when Lay's, the history of Lay's. So we'll research when did Lay's first introduce themselves into the flat earth world. So when did Lay's start? In 1932, salesman Herman Lay opened a snack food operation in Nashville, Tennessee. And in 1938, he purchased the Atlanta, Georgia potato chip manufacturer Barrett Food Company, renaming it H.W. Lay Lingo and Company. Lingo is in the name. That's new. I didn't know that. Usually you hear, what's your lingo? What language are you using? But lingo is in the Lay's company name. Isn't that weird?
Yes, I've gotten scam call, not really scam calls. I call them junk calls while I was on the air. I didn't take it on the air except for a few different cases, mainly here at the home studio. So what got you into tape recorders, Ricky? That's a good question. I've wondered the
So,
same thing.
Years ago,
You got to
I-
give us the full story. We're all here.
full flaming story.
It's
Okay.
Friday night. None of us are doing anything.
I hate pop music. Anyway,
Rebecca Black hates you too.
thank you. So I don't even know who she is, but I'm assuming that she's a pop star or something.
She's who created that song.
Oh, Friday, Friday.
Oh no, she sang the lyrics. It was Arc Music Factory who
Rebecca Black.
created that monstrosity as we know it today.
I don't mean this against you personally, but that kind of music is not my cup of tea.
I need to do something about this
Okay,
wire.
now back to tape recorders and so forth. As a child, and this will also include how I got interested in electronics. As a child,
back in the 1990s. I was born in 1991. As a child, I used to always ask my dad, how does a thermostat work? How does a water heater work? How does a radio work? I always wanted to know how things worked. I remember one day my dad sat me down on the couch and he opened up the Fix It Yourself manual. That was one of my favorite things my dad would do with me back in the day is we'd sit on the couch together and he wouldn't open up a storybook. He'd open up the Fix It Yourself manual. And he would show me the inner workings of a water heater or the inner workings of a washing machine or a dryer. Or a thermostat. That's one that really got me with the bimetallic strip and stuff. That one really got me. That was fascinating. But anyway, I always liked to take things apart. But back then in the 1990s, when we lived in Russellville, Arkansas, a single digit age, when I would take something apart, me and my dad would take it apart together. Generally, we would just open it up, take a quick look inside, then put the cover back on. So I never really learned much of anything. I just saw what the
That's
inside
not the
looked like.
most relatable life story I've ever heard. Our stories are pretty similar, Ricky. I got to say, my dad did a lot of the same things. Maybe not with the do-it-yourself manual, but he kind of just explained to me.
Wow.
I remember as I was curious, ADHD, typical off-the-wall child.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a telephone serviceman. Telephones.
Oh,
No, this was the 90s, so most of the phones he replaced had carbon mics, and they got recycled. Sorry. Carbon mics are cool, though. Anyways, not to really get off on too much of a tangent, because I know you're telling your story, but I just wanted to put in real quick that our stories are really similar. I remember one time, as an example, my dad showed me how a speaker worked. He took apart a cheap...
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, bro.
He took apart a cheap 80s boombox speaker and told me what the woofer and the tweeter was, and it was cool. And ever
Jordan?
since then, I was hooked.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember getting in trouble many times as a kid because I would take the TV apart or the alarm clock or my
That's
sister's
awesome.
radio apart to just rip the speaker out of it.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then I got to the point after, because when I ripped something out of the device, I would hide the device. And nothing would happen until they would go looking for the device, and people were like, Jordan, what'd you do with it? Jordan, where is it? You're grounded, or you're going to get whipped, or whatever. Yeah, I got whipped a lot because I deserved it. I took people's stuff apart. I got smart enough to start putting the thing back together. And they turned the radio on, it wouldn't make any sound, or the alarm clock wouldn't work that day. Yeah. So I learned real quick not to do that. But our stories are rather similar.
So back to where we were. Me and my dad would take apart toys. And then one time or a couple of times, me and my brother took something apart together too, but we still did the same thing. We just opened it up, looked inside, put it back together. Then in 1998, when I was 7 years old, we moved to North Little Rock, Arkansas. It was at that house, by the way, where my first videos on YouTube were shot. So we were at that house. We had fairly recently moved in. We went on a trip to Peru. We got back from Peru, so we had already done that trip. Late 1998. My mom was helping me clean out my room. Because I didn't want to clean it up myself. Heck, if it weren't for my parents, I would have never cleaned my room because I'm a lazy as crap. But
This man has wrecked my living room / studio.
yeah,
Just a little, but it's okay.
yeah,
It's the CassetteMaster. It's the price you pay. I'm
yes.
just messing with you. You want
Yeah.
a little chair and sit up here? Or are you good with the couch?
I'll go ahead and pull up a chair.
You sure? Oh, crap. Now I got to talk. I'll pull this mic down for a second. How's everybody doing? How's the weather? Everybody feeling okay? Everybody happy? These piece of garbage IKEA chairs. I never should have bought them. They were cheap and quick. Your mic was down. Sorry, Ricky. Now I'm going to have to adjusticate. Oh, God, I
Adjusticate.
heard the chair snap.
Yeah.
There's not enough Swedish meatballs to save this boy from hitting the floor.
Okay. Tighten that guy up there.
Electric
Okay,
Voice
so
309s are very fidgety.
Trying to get my face on the screen.
Yep.
And there, now my face is visible. Well, the cord is kind of...
The cord's just going to be the
There.
cord, I guess.
So, back to where I was earlier. Let's see.
I have a
Oh wow!
I have a
bet
funny
that
chair.
was funny to see.
I have a funny chair story, and I will never admit this directly to anybody who asks me in person. I can't tell the school, can't tell the time frame, but
It's awesome battery maker.
we had a really crappy substitute teacher, and she was an absolute bitch. And I know I said the B word, but I'm just saying that for emphasis. She really was. She was awful. And so me and my friend, who will remain nameless, of course, time frame and location will be unknown at this point because I don't want this to come back and get me, but she was really bad. She played favorites. She would mark my paper incorrect, even though I did the work correctly.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That is
she was
wrong.
horrible.
That's evil.
Anyways,
That makes me angry.
Basically, I got it in my head that I was going to remove some key bolts from her chair. And I did. And the whole class saw me do it. I was really waiting for one of the classmates to rat me out, but they never did. Kudos to them, even though I really wasn't a favorite of the class. Removed the chair bolts, and she sits down and she flies back. And I feel kind of bad for this, but she flew back and hit the wall behind her because she sat down with some force. She had some inertia, and that chair was like, not today. So
Okay.
she was gone for 2 days and came back and was even meaner. So I didn't actually fix the situation. I
man.
made it significantly worse. Will you stop? Will you stop?
Sure.
You want me to just here?
Okay, so back to the story that's worse. Plug. I want it plugged. I'd rather have the cord in my face and it plugged in than it be unplugged. Okay, so what I was saying before about taking stuff apart, we moved to North Little Rock in 1998. Late 1998, my mother was helping me clean my room. And I came across one of the toys that me and my dad had looked inside earlier when we lived in in Russellville.
It's a cool story, Bill.
So anyway, we I was able to just crack it open a little bit because some of the screws had got missing. I was able to see inside. The speaker was no longer mounted where it was. It was just kind of flopping around in the breeze, to quote Dave Jones. And
Flapping around in the breeze.
and
Flapping, not flopping.
I finally
Floopity flappity floop.
we were on a trip to
Hello.
a ice skating rink. Yes,
I'm just messing with you.
we were going to an ice skating rink, and in the car I had the toy with me. I brought it with me. I had the cover off, and I was just staring at the inside, and I saw the circuit boards
So relatable.
with the chip on board microchips.
Little blob.
Yeah, the little blob chips. And the thing is, they were the type where that was on a separate PC board that was mounted on
Like at a 90-degree angle.
at a
coming out of the
90-degree
board.
angle.
Yep,
where
yep.
you see the chip on there and the little printed circuits going up to it. So that was my introduction to microchips, basically. And the chip on board like that. And I was seeing that stuff. Oh, Mickey Mouse. And I was just looking
Man, you
at
hit
those
puberty
and-
quick. Hey guys, you want to go play baseball?
So, anyway,
I'll be back.
I looked inside that
device and I just became mesmerized. I became fascinated by it. And that started an interest and a desire to get into electronics, to really, I wanted to take more stuff apart. I wanted to build circuits. I just got fascinated by electronics. So I started building circuits. I'd get batteries and light bulbs. I would check out simple books from the library on building various electrical circuits. It was basic electrical circuits, no fancy schmancy transistors and so forth, just batteries and bulbs and making switches out of a paper clip and those little brad things, whatever those brads that you bind papers together with, that you fold the little things on the side, on the bottom, or whatever. I'm terrible at describing things. Don't get me started. I'm the worst. I'm so long-winded. I just cannot be to the point. But anyway, whatever. But back to what I was saying. I was building stuff like that when I was 7 years old, or starting out when I was 7 years old. And I was, of course, taking more and more stuff apart. Every time I went to visit people, I always ask them, hey, Do you have anything electronic or that's broken or that you don't want anymore that I can have to take apart? I would like basically ask that to everyone I met. And I got a lot of stuff that way that I would just take apart, cut the wires, take the circuit boards out, take the speakers out. Similar to Jordan, is I got to the point to where I always preferred, I mean, although anything in general electronic to take apart was good, my preference would be if whatever I had to take apart had a speaker in it. I loved it when I had a speaker. And actually, I had a collection of speakers growing. It was just the drivers taken out of things, and I would name them because I would always give things a name based on the way they looked. I would even give people nicknames based on the way their face looked. I would just make up a word that seemed to describe the way they looked. I made up words for all kinds of things. So the speakers had names. As a matter of fact, the first speaker from that toy I took apart, I named Zbinger. And so anyway, and also when I was 7,
I feel like we would have been good friends even then.
yeah. And back then, so my mother sometimes would let me record on her blank tapes using a 1990s Sony stereo, which was modern at the time. And I really started enjoying just singing on the microphone, recording my voice. It was so fun just doing silly recordings. And my brother would record his voice too with me. We'd be taking turns, and it was fun. So I liked recording my voice back then, although I wasn't interested in collecting recorders at that time. I was mainly into electronics. Later on, though, when I was 12, starting when I was 12, I started getting an interest in some vintage electronics, like vintage radios, transistor radios, TVs, stuff like that. A dear old friend of mine who's like a grandfather to me, John Henry, he gave me an 8-track player, and I got that. It was working already, but I started listening to 8-tracks probably starting in like 2002, late 2002 or so, when I got that originally. Unfortunately, that machine's no longer.
What kind of machine was it?
It was made by Midland, very
Like
low
the CB
end.
radio Midland?
Yes, and it
That's
was
pretty cool.
very low end.
No, it was like anything in that time. It was built down to a price point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably the only one to use a microphone with the mount like this, but hey, it gets it out of
looks
his
funny.
view. It does look
It
funny.
looks very
It's
straight.
supposed to be like the way yours is.
It's very pointed. So anyway,
Pointy is good.
pointy. So anyway,
Applies for a lot of things.
what I was saying earlier was
don't think about that too hard.
I already was thinking about it. Anyway, what I was saying earlier was anyway, I got that stereo, and I always liked the look of older devices, like stuff from the 60s and 70s, like seeing old speakers and stuff. It just looks more aesthetic seeing the older stereos. The wood grain, the solid edges, kind of square, rectangular shape of the older devices. Because here in the early 2000s, you had this rounded, plasticky, flimsy, cheap, silvery looking plastic stuff in the modern style. I just hated the modern style. Heck, I've always hated what I called modernization. That is, let's say the cereal box had a certain look to it, and like the certain style they had on the cereal box for a brand. And then they decided to one day upgrade that brand to give it a more modernized look.
Lucky Charms
I
is a
hated
great
that.
example of that. Lucky Charms is a beautiful example of that.
Every
They changed it,
yeah.
and now the leprechaun looks like he does crack. It's very creepy.
Oh my goodness, bro. So I always hated that modernization. When a certain look something had, they changed it to make it look all sleek and modern, but it just, the way it looked was bothered me. I wanted it the way that it was before. So I always had this liking for older things. And when it came to electronic equipment, the wood grain, the natural look of wood, and speakers with nice natural brown color wood grain, it just looks great. And then, of course, I remember going to this thing called Project Lab in 2004, where a bunch of us nerds would build electronic projects, and they had this vintage stereo there, and it was the first time I've experienced flywheel tuning. I just turned the tuning knob, and the weighted thing just goes whoosh, and I'm like, what?
Do you remember what receiver that was?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first receiver that had that feature was probably... Sorry, I'm reading the comment section. I'm getting confused here. So it's probably a Technics SA300 by Panasonic. It was a pretty good receiver. Hi, Madison. Maddie, come here. Oh,
But anywho,
Battery Maker
yeah.
says, I was in math class. Some fat kid decided to rip off a one cheek sneak loud enough to make the seat's rivet go ping, ping, ping as he went. Teacher never heard it.
Awesome.
I lost it. Still makes me laugh. I mean, hey, that's hilarious. I don't mind wood grain, but I lived during the 60s and Mediterranean styling still gives me the I'm not going to answer that. Finish that one.
But anywho, I've always liked the older look of the equipment.
Come here.
And
Hey, everybody, if you want to see Madison, just cheer her on.
but anywho,
Come here. She's not going to.
let's see where I was at. So the flywheel tuning really just made me think. I noticed
This is
that
quality.
they don't make stuff like this anymore. What happened? None of the new stuff is like this. There's a certain degree of quality in this thing, and it looks beautiful, and it sounds great, and it's nice. I don't see that quality in any modern thing, but this is great. So I got a couple of old speakers from Project Lab that gave to me, a couple old Sanyo speakers back in 2004, and later on in 2004 also my friend John Henry gave me a realistic modular 8-track player / receiver and a Technics M205 cassette deck. Those are some of my more of my first vintage audio stuff in 2004. And I started getting a little stereo set up, and of course I also was getting the desire to get some of those shoebox cassette recorders because I was always recording on full-size stereo system setups. Like my mother had the Sony, and then my piano teacher gave me a realistic stereo thing from 1991, which was kind of large. It had a record player on the top, dual cassette deck, a CD player, and tuner. And I used to make recordings on there. And I was actually first experimenting with stereo on that one because it had 2 microphone inputs. But since I only had like one actual microphone, I'd plug a microphone in one input, then I'd get a speaker and use the speaker as a microphone in the other.
Really low efficiency
would put
microphone.
I would use the speaker. I would kind of beat my foot against it to use it as what I call like a stomping box.
Like
to
a
kind of
kick
give
drum or something.
Beat to music, and I would sing. And I would sing in one microphone and then beat on the box for the other. And then you hear it in the 2 channels of stereo, which I would just hook up to speakers that were not even in boxes, just a couple speakers I'd hook up to the outputs of the stereo. But finally, I was getting the desire to get some of those shoebox style cassette recorders. Unfortunately, although Project Lab had several cassette recorders lying around, none of them worked. So I didn't end up getting any of them, much to my chagrin. I wish I did, although now I have one of the GE models that they had there. Or not the same.
Like one of those GE Slimline models, or is that a Panasonic?
It was a early 1970s GE DC bias as can be. I have a video from 2010 of the same model machine that I originally saw at Project Lab. And anyway, so finally, I did ask one of the guys, the dad of one of the guys at Project Lab, a guy named Robert, who went by Bobbert, and because we used to go to Hamfests together, and if I could have a GE cassette recorder that was sitting in his in the back of his old 1980s Volvo, and he let me have it. Or maybe after some pestering, because I used to be the worst when it came to pestering people for things back in the days. I've since learned to not pester so much, but when I was young, I probably was really obnoxious because I'd always be pestering people when I wanted something, which was
Can I
horrible.
have that?
Yeah.
I always
was
ask
the
people that.
worst.
I asked teachers for
Oh,
cassette recorders. They'd
yeah.
be like, no, you can't have that.
Oh, come to think of it, my back in 9th grade, my geometry teacher gave me her old intercom that was at her house because they got rid of it, and so she brought the intercom to me. But anyway,
What kind?
it was made by Sears.
In
Matter
wall?
of fact, it was outside the wall. It was mounted to the wall.
Mm,
But it's in my storage unit. When you come visit, I'll let you have it.
okay.
I have no need for it. So anyway, I wanted to get some recorders, so I got that GE record plate switch was dirty, but I didn't know about cleaning record plate switches back then. I mean, I was still learning, so I didn't make too many recordings with it because it wasn't very reliable because of record plate switch. Now I since repaired it by spraying WD-40, and I know contact cleaner is better than WD-40. People have told me that multiple times.
Honestly, WD-40 works okay with mechanical switches, but for pots with a resistive track, yeah, you probably don't want to use that. But for a physical, like a slide, like a record play switch or a toggle switch or something that doesn't have a resistive track, WD-40 is probably okay.
Okay, good to
Not
know.
the greatest, but it'll work.
Yeah. So anyway, and there is a video on my YouTube channel from 2007, I think, of that.
What's
particular
the
guitar.
model of that professional recording
professional.
Walkman?
Oh,
Somebody on
Sony WM-D6.
Somebody on here said that they had one.
Oh,
It could be the same model.
I have one. I know. Well, this recorder is the Sony WM-D6E. I didn't get to 2010 at an estate sale for like $6, but the GE recorder was a GC bias thing, and yeah, I have a video of it that I uploaded many years ago that buried now, and I can't think off the top of my head what the model was.
I can't stop fidgeting with this microphone.
So anyway, basically that was
It's
getting
a
things
D3.
started.
Sorry.
With recorders.
It's a D3. What's a D3, Ricky? A Sony D3? What is a WDM3?
I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know the
He
D3
doesn't know
off the top of my head. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying earlier is I got the GE recorder, and I was getting some more when I got back from Christmas break in 2004 to 2005 on a trip to Arizona to see my grandparents. In my room was this stand-up console stereo that had two speakers built in the bottom and a cassette. It was made by Sylvania GTE, cassette and receiver, and then a record player at the very top. And the cassette's motor had been removed. I was told it was found on the side of the road, so I immediately went in, put a motor in there, but the motor ran way too fast. So I made a LM317 adjustable voltage power supply circuit and put a pot on the back that I could adjust the voltage to the motor, therefore adjusting the speed of the machine. And I made some recordings in like January 2005 on that machine. And that was getting me progressing more with the audio stuff. I started getting speakers. I started going to estate sales. Oh man, I got into this whole obsessiveness of going to estate sales. Of course, in 2005, 8-tracks were the main thing. So me and my mom always going to garage sales looking for 8-track players. And then finally I got more. And of course, I got my first reel-to-reel deck in 2005 with the Sony excuse me, not
That's
Sony.
cool that you had family that
TIAC,
actually supported you.
Yeah. The TIAC A1500W, a guy that was working at the Crystal Hill Antique Mall in Little Rock, or near Little Rock, Arkansas, had a couple machines he gave me. One was a TIAC A1500W, which needed a new belt, and the other one was a Tandberg TD20A, if I remember correctly, but the Tandberg had some problems. It's not operating right now, but the TIAC I got going. And I made
Tandberg is kind of
recordings.
a bougie model, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are pretty decent.
Bougie. I've been hearing that
Bougie.
word a lot today.
That's because I've been saying it a
It's
lot while you're
hilarious.
here. If something's fancy, it's bougie.
I haven't heard the word bougie until today.
Nah, you heard this the other day, I'm sure.
Or
at
maybe
least.
the other. I haven't heard the word bougie until this trip.
Bougie, not bougie.
Bougie.
Zh, not
Bougie.
a J, but a zh, bougie.
Bougie. I haven't heard that word until this trip. It's a new word.
Did
for
Sony
me.
have a Walkman with dual heads?
If they did, I don't know.
Yeah.
They may have.
The viewer on here
I
says
don't-
he has one.
Oh well, that's freaking awesome.
Post the
That's
model.
really freaking awesome.
Model up.
Yeah, what's
Tell
the
us what it
model?
is, because
Yeah.
I'd like to look it up.
I bet it's going to cost a pretty penny. But anyway, if I find one on eBay or whatever. But so anyway, I was getting more recorders, getting more speakers. I loved the sound of the speakers, of the old stereos and the nice speakers. I was getting more speakers, vintage speakers, in enclosures, of course, full on speakers, and setting up stereo systems in my room. And of course, I liked making videos on VHS. I really
You're up
enjoyed
to
doing
9.
that. And
You're up to 9.
up to 9.
9 saying speakers at least 9 times in one sentence. I'm just playing. It's just a junk number.
Okay.
What about a
I would-
WM800? Battery maker asks.
It sounds like a nice machine. Of course, I'm not
The other
familiar
guy
with
says
the model.
Sony WM-EX909. That's close.
I bet it's nice. Oh, he's
Yeah.
asking him. Okay. So anyway, point being is I love it. I love the old audio stuff. I was getting into that. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. I love operating it. It's simple to operate. And plus, when I would be at like a Best Buy or some Walmart or whatever, and I'd see these modern stereos, like think in the early to mid 2000s, for example, the mid 2000s, and the way the stereos looked, it's like, ugh, no.
But then you get a nice vintage stereo from the 70s, and everything's simple to operate too. It's not like fishing around where the heck is the power button and stuff. It's just like boom, power. There it is. There's your volume. There's your
Stuff
bass.
started getting
It's
cheaper.
simple, and it's built well. It's so well made. I love. See, the modern stuff, the build quality tends to just be so flimsy and cheap, and it breaks.
Battery
it doesn't
Maker said
last
it
long.
well earlier. He said they started taking the nickels out of stuff. I don't really know if that's what he said. I could scroll up and see what he actually
Yeah.
said, but the EX series use prismatic gum stick batteries. Oh, the impossible to replace ones. Yeah, the little thin rectangular things. Those are
Oh,
hard to get a
wow.
hold of these days.
think I've
Is there a
seen
modern
something like that.
replacement for those? I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. So
I'm sharing this live stream with friends on Facebook as we
good.
see if I can get some more people to view. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
So anyway, I've always had noticed that the older stuff tended to be very well made. Sure, there was some cheaper old stuff, but a lot of times you'd see old stuff that's built so solid, and you'd see new stuff that's flimsy, cheap, doesn't last long, breaks. And you start to notice that trend. And then you get into the whole idea because everyone's saying they used to make things better back then. It's built like a tank. They don't make things like they used to. And that all stems from something called planned obsolescence.
Maybe not just that, but also, maybe not planned obsolescence per se, but just pinching pennies, saving money.
Pinching pennies. Although I do have a strong feeling about planned obsolescence.
They still make those batteries.
Oh, good.
Good.
I want to recommend to all viewers of this stream, and then any later viewers that view the pre-recorded stream once it's already done, there is a documentary called The Light Bulb Conspiracy. You can find it on YouTube. Search the extended version. The downside is there are some parts spoken in French where it's not subtitled. So, and I don't know French, so I can't really understand those parts, but it's mostly in English. I mean, the main thing's in English. The Light Bulb Conspiracy is a documentary about planned obsolescence. I've watched that documentary so many times because I've shown it to so many people. I've shown it to Jordan. I've shown it to John Clark TRC Studios. I've shown it to various other people I've met in my life. It's just a fascinating, gripping documentary. Talks about light bulbs. There's this light bulb at a fire station in Liverpool, California.
It's still there.
That is still lit, and it has been lit, continuously lit for over 100 years. It has been continuously lit for over 100 years. In the documentary, it said they had a webcam monitoring it. The documentary said it outlasted 2 webcams. And I think also I searched it at some point later on, and I think now the count is 3 webcams. Modern technology is all about progression, improving technology, making things better, smarter, faster, more powerful, more advanced. Yet you got this stuff that's just breaking. But the thing is, it's the crazy part. Back in the 1920s or so, manufacturers, the engineers people were making it where the engineers had to design a light bulb to last no more than 1,000 hours. Talked about on the documentary. Literally engineer the light bulb to last less long. And if it lasted longer, there'd be some fine or something like that. There'd be consequences. They had to engineer it to break. Even hose like that women would wear on their legs would, at one point when it was like first introduced, made out of nylon, It was super durable. The women loved it because it was so durable. It didn't stretch or whatever, or didn't like tear or whatever, something like that. But anyway, in the documentary, they talked about how that stuff had to be re-engineered to break down. I'm not even joking. You have the light bulbs, you have the hose, and you have other stuff. Literally, things had to be engineered to break down. And one of the best parts in the documentary is there's this theme throughout the documentary on this printer. And this printer that gives a message that it has a problem and it needs to be serviced. So they bring it to the repair place. They said, sorry, I mean, it's going to basically just get a new printer because it's going to cost more or the same or whatever to fix the printer. Just get a new one. I could tell you the end of the documentary, but I want to save it. I recommend you watch this documentary because it will completely blow your mind. The light bulb conspiracy. One of the best documentaries I've seen in my entire life. It even talks about electronic e-waste being sent to Ghana. And you got these people in Ghana that this once nice river that was teeming with fish is just dirty. Electronic waste everywhere being burned for the raw materials, stuff that doesn't work. Old computer monitors and this and that just thrown out over there as, quote, secondhand goods when the majority of it is junk. You got throwaway culture. A lot of stuff is literally built to break these days. I think back in the day when a lot of the audio equipment was made, the idea was more, it's built well, but change the style over time and make people want to get a new one. And the old one would just be secondhand because it would be out of style. Then you get more for, it seems to not only the style, but you got a lot of stuff nowadays. It breaks. And you got stuff that consistently breaks. Like think of USB cords, for example, you buy from a gas station for your phone. Those don't last very long before the little cord falls out or the connection goes bad. I mean, sure, it's a cord and that stuff happens, but a lot of stuff is built to break. Let's read a couple of comments. Fisher hoses a space heater. About a decade old, between 39 actually watched the tail end of the good years turn and we have data modernization. Guys, look at the walking model. Don't spoil it. Can't wait to watch that. Very glad you can't wait to watch that documentary. Heck yes. I'm not going to spoil it. That makes sense, battery maker. Oh, can't hear. Sorry, that's because I'm looking over. I'm just reading the comments because I was talking and a distance from the computer. I was just seeing text, but I couldn't see the comments, so I'm taking some time to read the comments. Wow, 13 years. Whew, time flies. Yeah, planned obsolescence is a very strange and horrible thing. It's amazing how much cheap stuff is just so cheap. I've seen pictures of Viking machines online, but I've never experienced a Viking in person. But I've always been intrigued by how they tended to have the mechanism upside down with the heads at the top.
So the Tascam setup on this thing here right now has some kind of a mechanical problem. It's hooked up, but unfortunately it's not eager to play a cassette, so it's going to have to be fixed. But once it's fixed, it will be a very good machine in SpeakerFreak95's studio. This is not my studio. So we got a short cord for this camera, but just showing a little bit more views. This is, of course, not my setup. This is a SpeakerFreak95 setup, but he has a really nice soundboard here, and fantastic stuff. You can see the VU meters. I guess this could be a test for how synchronized my voice is with the actual streaming video. And here's the Tascam cassette deck, Tascam 112 cassette deck. And it's a beautiful deck, Dolby B and C noise reduction. And of course, here's I moved it. It's over there now. I got a Nagra 3 reel-to-reel tape recorder over there. Well, this stream's gone 1 hour and 36 minutes. It's pretty long. See, sometimes time wants to drink an energy drink. Many of you have seen the advertisements. I think you know which type of energy drink Time drinks. Time likes to drink Red Bull. Back to mounting the microphone on a lamp, and the Philips, those Philips machines, those belts, Philips just loves it when those belts, or Philips loves to have belts that go to goo all the time. It's pretty much every time we get a little Philips machine, you know it's going to have those gooey goo rubber everywhere. Let's see. I wonder where Jordan went. Probably into the room, his main room. Jordan just had to use the restroom. I think he's in the restroom. I'm in the bathroom. Read the comments. And he's obviously watching the stream, or I'm guessing he is. Oh, obviously he is, because he's able to comment. Making a deposit. That's funny. So anyway, I'm going to bring my Nagra over here. And I found someone to replace it with a cassette player. That's beautiful. I'm going to bring my Nagra over here. Spray. It's off. And I'll turn it down. Okay. I'll go get the Nagra. I could get a better view. Now, unfortunately, camera-wise is not the best camera-wise here, because short cord, nothing to really mount the camera. Oh, the Nagra, I had to, okay, so the rewind was not working. There was, around the flywheel, there would have been an O-ring, a rubber O-ring on there, and the rubber, I guess, had disintegrated over time and was gone. Thankfully, it wasn't like the Phillips melting away. It was just kind of just not there. So I managed to get an O-ring on that, and that put the machine back into serviceable operation. Okay, so this particular Nagra, according to the serial number, this Nagra was manufactured in the year 1965. And anyway, now the Nagra 3 tape recorder was first introduced in the year 1958, I believe. When I looked at the service manual, the schematics showed that the design was from 1957, but the earliest I can find on the internet of actual machines, it looks to be that the Nagra first was introduced in 1958, and the heads looked very different on the old 1958 models, round design, and fascinating to think that this design machine originates from the 50s, not the 60s, but the 50s. And anyway, but the pilot tone feature, which is easy to see because there's this extra indicator here. The pilot tone, the original Nagra 1 and 2 were vacuum tube and used clockwork to drive the mechanism. Then the Nagra 3 was solid state with a DC motor. The pilot tone feature was first introduced on Nagras in 1963. So this machine, though, being from 1965, the pilot tone had been around for 2 years at the time. So all original capacitors are still good, or at least good enough to make the machine work. So the only thing I had to do to it to get it to operate was that rewind thing. Sorry about the camera. Because the mirror image on the screen, it's a lot harder to set the camera like this. It might be able to. I have not tried the pilot tone feature. Needs strange jacks that I don't have, stuff like that. But yeah, I love this freaking thing. Now, holding the camera, I'll have to operate this with one hand. Give me a second here. The old hand trick will focus the camera. I learned that from Jordan. In order to protect the soundboard, Jordan, I'm going to very gently place this paper here, and I'm not going to touch the cue buttons. That way, the Nagra's top will very gently, actually, it's not even touching. I didn't even need to do that. It's not even going down enough to touch. Okay, I'm going to take the paper away then. Very gently now. Okay, now the paper was doing something. Put the paper back. Easy does it. Easy does it. Okay, now open up the Nagra's thing. Oh, it was on this part. That's why it didn't seem like it went down all the way, because I was looking here. So here's the Nagra 3. And shaky-handed presentation, and probably looks worse because it's over a live stream. So, you know, data rates and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to make a recording. For simplicity's sake, it's going to be an automatic recording. I'm recording on the Nagra 3. Reel-to-reel tape recorder. Someone, please comment on the live stream, and the comment will be read onto the Nagra. I would love to find a Model SN indeed. Let me pause it. First person to comment first person to comment, that comment will be read on the Nagra, provided it doesn't have any bad language. Yeet. Now we're going to play back the recording. So now, of course, we got the noise gate and stuff too. But anyway, although the front control does make a thump when you control it. And the amplifier kind of goes pop, pop, pop whenever you turn it on. Those may not be as audible through the noise gated microphone. Now we're going to play back this recording through the built-in speaker. Yeet. Now, that probably was audible. We're going to on the live. Quality. Tritium. Now we're going to put the microphone. We're going to make it nice and straight.
All right, it's time for me to get my mic back.
Okay, can you make it straight? It's closer. I want to put this up to the speaker.
Hmm?
I want to put this up to the speaker.
The mic?
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to play it. I'm recording on the Nagra 3. Reel-to-reel tape recorder. Someone, please comment on the live stream, and the comment will be read onto the Nagra. I would love to find a Model SN indeed. Let me pause it. Yeet. Now we're going to play back the recording. I love this freaking recorder. Would you like to talk for a bit? Because I'd like to use the restroom myself.
I also showered, in case anybody was curious. Not that that really matters or makes a difference, but I'm here and let's take his paper with him. You gonna note while you
Do what?
never mind. Battery Maker said something that's pretty hilarious, but I'm gonna wait till you're gonna read it. Fire in the hole.
Thing is, oh, okay. Yeah. It's just number one.
Sure, that's what they all say.
Well, yeah.
He says it's just number one. Why are we talking about this? Oh, what to talk about, what to say. I guess that's up to the people who are commenting. I'm personally out of things to say at the moment. I'm tired. It's 10:20 currently here. You're a good influence, actually. So, very creative. I need to do some of these live streams. If I did it, would people watch? What would I talk about? Oh, I don't know. I guess what I could do. If you want to know about radio, Ken Burns, The Empire of the Air. Tell me more about it. I'm curious what that's all about. Let's comment again about how much Ricky likes hot sauce on everything. I was at Cracker Barrel with this fool. He gets some kind of fish. And, like a normal person, not a psychopath. He puts hot sauce on his fish and on his fries. We were at Burger Smith in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hot sauce on his burger. That seems right. Puts hot sauce on his fries. It's about the early era of radio. I'll check it out. That sounds pretty cool. I'm glad to see All American 5 Radio is watching. All the real OGs are here with us this evening, it seems like. Ricky is still not back yet. So, anybody got any questions for me? Probably not, but it's likely. I'll check it out, Rick and Bill as well. Just saying hi before you go to bed. What? Well, go to bed. It's late. I'd like to know more about his early... And, dude, Gabe's YT, I was only kidding. I was only joking. Stay here as long as you need to. I'd like to know more about Rick's history in telco. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to read up on that book. Hey, Ricky's back. Let's bring his mic up.
Yo,
Let me get out of the way here.
you can keep talking.
Okay. I'm going to get creative with this microphone. No, I'll be right back.
He's going straight. Oh, he's going angled. He really is getting creative with his mic. The thing is stretched out like practically straight, the actual arm of the thing.
These are like the most... I'm out of shot
Let's just
now,
hope
but
the
these are like the
spring doesn't
most
hit him in the
flexible
eye.
mic arms. They're noisy, squeaky, and old, but man, they work good.
As long as a spring doesn't nip your eye off.
These don't do that. It's the LPB mic arms that do that.
What a relief.
It seems like you got your relief in the restroom. I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Indeed. At the count of three, let's both say indubitably.
In what?
Indubitably.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Indubitably called it. Okay, let's go with indeed. 1, 2, 3. Indeed called it. Sort of called it that time.
You're not even giving me a chance. You're just like,
I
indeed,
say
got
1,
it.
2, 3. See. Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever heard Ricky laugh in quite a while. Must be a good time.
Yo, bro, what's up, man? Can you talk like this on the professional microphone? Hello there. Introduce.
I'm going to go to bed soon.
Yeah, I think it's probably it's already 10:24.
It is 10:24
Yeah,
p.m.
we got to go to the flea market tomorrow.
We do.
And if you don't get up on time, I will call you, as you said.
Just wake me up. I don't know why it's been such a struggle. Has it been a struggle for everybody else to wake up? It seems like it's been a struggle for me here lately, but I don't know. Maybe I need to go to bed earlier. But yeah, this has been fun. This has been an
Indeed.
interesting experience. I don't
Indeed.
think I've ever done this before. I've messed with this microphone more than I have in 30 minutes than I have in 2 years. I've owned it. So yeah.
Yeah,
We need to make this happen more often.
indeed.
If everybody on YouTube wants to see collaborations between with SpeakerFreak95, myself, and Ricky over here, CassetteMaster, let us know, because there's a
Indeed.
million things we can get into, really.
Mhm. For instance,
Flea markets.
the Earth.
The
What shape
Earth
is it,
and
Jordan?
how round it really, truly is.
How round and flat it really is.
You just contradicted yourself.
I'm not a
Listen,
flat earther
the
to
Flat
believe
Earth
it's
Society
round.
has members all around the globe.
I'm not really a flat earther, though. I just
No, but
think
he
flat Earth
talks
is
about it a
hilarious.
lot. You talk about it a lot. You
Yeah.
sure do. It seems like you actually are flat Earth.
I'll put it this way.
You put it this way.
I
Let's go
believe the
He's
Earth
in
is a
denial.
globe,
A
but
globe?
I legitimately wish that it was flat.
Why? What
Because
would
it
the
would be
benefit?
hilarious. It would be awesome.
You would know that as the norm, though. You would never question it.
But, like,
Legitimately, you would.
if the Earth was flat, but everyone thought it was a globe and the flat earthers were right, that would be hilarious.
But then, okay.
But yeah, I'm not actually a flat earther, so yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys
Battery
enjoyed.
maker, how's that new job working out? You happy with it? This is gonna be like a 14-second delay. The CQ is not hooked up to anything
Yeah.
at this moment.
That's what made me laugh internally.
Internally, you sure? Internally or internally dying?
Internally, I was humored because.
Well,
you
cool. I
moved
hope that it continues to go well for you.
Indeed. Well, Doctor.
Indeed is actually a job searching website.
Indeed, it is.
This podcast,
Yep.
live stream, whatever, is brought to you by Indeed.com and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, have a Tascam cassette deck too. What's the model? It's money. Beats selling crack, like my family.
No.
I didn't say
Oh.
that.
So
Certain
anyway,
family members.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this live stream video. Please let us know if you
Yep.
want us to collaborate more.
It would be cool to keep doing it. It's the MK302. Never heard of her, but I can always look it up.
And anyway,
Dual
it's
level
been fun.
inputs.
It's been good.
So dual level inputs, I'm continuing this for a second. Dual
Okay.
level inputs, what's that mean? Like, it's not infinitely variable on the front, like most of them are? I'm confused.
Is it just like a level input for each cassette in the cassette deck, or
It's
just
a double
dual level,
cassette
like,
deck.
stereo, just
I
left
think
and
he's
right?
talking about I don't know. I know Tascam released a new cassette deck relatively late. It's got the Tension, I think is the manufacturer of the
Level input for each cassette. That's cool.
Okay, that is actually pretty
That's
cool.
really
I
cool.
don't quite understand that, but maybe if you're recording with different grades of cassette or I don't know. I think that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably infinitely variable
like
controls
two
for
tape recorders
each
in one.
deck. So that is kind of cool. Kind of overcomplicates it for people like me who just want to play a tape.
It's awesome.
I've used this tape deck 3 times in like the 10 years I've owned it, and the last time I used it, the belt failed, and so now it just sits there and looks pretty. It doesn't do anything. In fact, I think if I turn it on, it'll fire right up. Let's see. Will it fire right up? And yes,
Counter's
it does.
on.
The counter's on. It's a VFD. It's a Tascam 112. It's old school. You can actually see input going to it from the console because it was used to record air checks.
Awesome.
And that's all
Awesome.
it ever got used for. I don't use cassettes on the air a whole lot. Most of what I use is either digital playback or 360 systems or off the computer and occasionally off of cart machines. Told you the wrong model. It's a Tascam 302. Each cassette can act as 2 separate ones. That's cool. So if you're playing music, you could cue up the next track and, that's the end of this song. Van Halen, Running with the Devil. Boom! Play the next song or whatever, right immediately. That's kind of cool. It's kind of like the CD player over here. A Denon DND4000. It's a prosumer version with RCA outs, but I have a matchbox on it to convert it to high-level balance for the console. Why are we talking about this? I love talking about it. I could like, make this stream go on for like 3 more hours. Get 0 sleep, but at least talk about it. Can also record 2 separate sources. Yeah, I kind of expected that. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
How old is it? Because I know newer cassette decks have a newer cassette module, or rather a mechanism, and it's made by a new company called Tension, I think. How does Maddie tolerate your passion? She does very well, actually. She doesn't partake in it all the time, but occasionally she will. If you listen closely enough to my uploads and live streams, and occasionally if you're in the area, depending on where you tune your radio, hint, hint, you can hear her voice occasionally on radio bumpers, liners, or even live occasionally when I get her to actually get in front of a mic. She's very tolerant of it. In fact, half the living room is a studio. But with that being said, right now it doesn't count because there's stuff strung everywhere. Thanks, Ricky. No offense, though, really. I keep everything kind of located just in the studio. I don't clutter up the bedroom. There's hardly anything in there at all. There's just an old tube radio and the TV. I did have a big stereo in there, and I actually took it out. So I don't want to overtake the whole house with my crap. So I kind of focused on making this a purpose-built situation here in the corner of the living room. And it's been 0 issues. It's been very nice. She's very, very good. Very, found me a good one. She She lets me do whatever I want with it, as long as, you know, it's within reason. So my wife says she doesn't mind my hobbies so long as she doesn't trip on anything. Madison's pretty much in the same boat on that. If I've got something in the middle of the floor, I'll hear it. So I typically try to keep things out of the floor, keep things presentable. I want to make sure things look as good as possible whenever any of her friends might come over, or she comes in and just, I don't want her to see a mess. So I never let her come home to a messy ass studio and or house. Workshop. Just want to add a tack on to that. The workshop, anything I work on, soldering, building things, taking apart, predominantly happens at work, either before or after my shift, because I have a nice little workbench there. So all that is done there. So none of that happens here. So it kind of keeps it self-contained. Will you get super chats? I don't know what super chats is, and I don't know if Ricky does or not. I've seen that on YouTube before. What is super chats?
I have an idea, but I'm not sure enough. What exactly is a super chat?
Can you explain it to us in a nutshell? Look at the man himself. Like your mic. Thanks. I don't know. Oh, that's Patrick. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Jesus Christ. Friend from back home.
I've
Yeah, the
never met
microphone's in a
Patrick.
weird position because I don't feel like standing up. And here comes Madison.
Patrick,
Maddie,
I've
come
never
say hi to
met you
Patrick.
before,
He's on the
but
live
I've
chat.
heard your funny recordings, and I would love to meet you someday because you sound like a fun guy.
Okay. And everything's been going well. Come over slightly more.
No.
Oh, y'all can hear her now. Can you say hi in the microphone to everybody? Cool stuff. Patrick, in case you're wondering, there's Madison right here. Let's pinch that cheek. This is CassetteMaster, another YouTuber.
Mhm.
Wow, I've got everybody in one
Patrick,
frame.
I've heard your recordings and your antics, and you rock.
Yep, he's
You
pretty
are
hilarious.
amazing.
We don't buy, we nibble.
That'd be Battery Maker. He's hilarious. Friends with him on Facebook too. In case anybody's wondering, like Patrick, who may have just tuned in, we're literally just randomly talking about random stuff.
Oh, thank you. How nice.
She stays up late sometimes, watching videos,
But I don't
makeup tutorials,
But I don't have college.
when she's not doing something for college in class. In fact, I should be in bed pretty
College.
soon. College.
I'm graduating this year. Well,
Yeah.
in May. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Now she's running away now, but at least she came by and said hi.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally just talking about
Yeah.
random stuff.
But what do you think we should get to bed soon, Jordan? Because I'd like
Soon,
to
but we
get
got to stay for a little bit longer because I got some other friends that I know personally
Okay.
on here. So
Patrick.
yeah, Patrick's hilarious. He really is. He's one of those friends that I've known for a long time, almost
Patrick's-
as long as I've known of
Patrick's
you.
got to sleep too.
He's got to sleep too. That man's got to work just like all of us. Hope things are going well for you. Battery Maker says I'm the old fart in the group. Well, I mean, it depends. My eyes be heavy. Mine are too. I'm not even joking.
I'm ready to go to Dreamland soon.
Yeah, we're going to cut it soon, but we're glad to see everybody here. Like I said, we were just talking about random stuff, and once this stream has completed, you should effectively be able to go and rewind, if you have such interests, to go back and rewind and see what we talked about, although it's just a bunch of random stuff. And
Yeah.
it was fun. It's the first time we've really ever done this. I know Ricky's probably done this before. I've never done this on my personal YouTube channel.
Yeah, I tried
But,
live streaming for the first time, I guess a couple of weeks ago or sometime recently. I tried it out because I got this little camera, better quality than a crappy typical webcam. And I thought, well, I don't have any recording software on the computer. And it's like, I want to do the camera. I'll try the live streaming, see if that works. So I did a little stream test, and then I thought I'll try a little Minecraft capture to make it look like the way that
Patrick
the
likes
gamers like to
Minecraft,
do.
I believe.
Oh, Minecraft is awesome. Do you do creative or survival mainly?
He might not be watching at this point.
Oh, yeah,
I
he might
don't
be
know.
in bed. Yeah.
Don't know. He might still be listening.
Yeah. I mainly play survival I play survival when I want to do a serious world. I have survival only worlds, and then if I just want to goof off, I have other worlds that I go into creative and kill.
Oh, he said
vindicators
hold
and
up in capital letters. I wonder if he's about to roast us. Let's see. Can we get my ugly mug back in the shot here?
mug shot.
I'm using a lamp as a camera stand. It's real, true, professional grade here.
Mug shot.
Bug shot.
Bug shot. Well, you be the one with the bug shot with your Volkswagen.
He said survival.
Very nice. Have you made any farms? Have you made a villager breeding center?
See, Ricky knows more about this than I do, so he can actually ask the questions and seem like he knows what he's talking about. The delay is hilarious, but it makes it a little bit more interesting when we talk to people.
Yeah.
Patrick, I miss you. You need to come down here sometime.
Should dude,
if we all got together, the world would burn. It
it
really would. I don't know what we'd get into, but I know it would. Things would explode.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. I have a thing for villagers on Minecraft. I really like villagers and villages. I love finding villages.
How many times did you say village just now?
Several.
At least 4 times. This is cool. I didn't expect Patrick to come in. I'm glad I sent this to him. I also posted this on my personal Facebook page, so hopefully some people are watching. I have no idea. Make yourself known.
Throat voice. This is my throat voice.
You're probably just getting more of the off-axis rejection, which is going to sound like poop. Like poop. Anyways, I think it's nearing time to wrap this up. I'm thinking 10:45. It's 10:38 now, so we've got a few more minutes to talk. If anybody has any questions,
Say 10:45.
we're here to answer them.
Central Standard Time.
Ricky, what you going to get for a microphone now that I got you a mic processor?
Oh, currently I'll be using the SM57.
You need to get yourself a nice little... Oh, wait. You said something. Yeah, Jordan, you're right. Do you need to play Minecraft? I haven't made a villager farm, but I've made a castle where the villagers live in. Like
That's
I'm
awesome.
a corrupt king. Battery Maker says, y'all don't want to hear my butt voice. Is it deep and throaty? Or is it low and... I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and here's my philosophy on video games. I always enjoy watching people play them, but I don't think I have the mental capacity, honestly, to play games. I don't have, well, maybe not mental capacity, but more like attention span. I'll bounce from one thing to the next and I get tired of it, you know. The butt monster.
The butt monster.
You should do sound design for games. That would be fun. I'm sure there's a market for that. I'd have fun with it, but I don't know who I would find that would want to use me, you know. I'm still learning, you know. I'll take a drink of water here.
ASMR.
Okay, can somebody explain to me what ASMR means? I've seen it before, but what is ASMR? I shouldn't say that. Oh. The comment section's on fire right now.
A feeling of well-being combined with a tingling sensation in the scalp and down the back of the neck, as experienced by some people in response to a specific gentle stimulus, often a particular sound. ASMR is triggered by things like whispering voices, paper tearing, and scalp massage. And it stands for something, and I don't know why the first thing doesn't even bother to say what it
this is like the first time I've heard of this.
And here's
this amount of information.
And here's what it stands for. It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Yeah, that's familiar, because I remember the word meridian. That's such an odd name. Meridian, Mississippi. That's where...
oh, wow.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, it's in the back of my mind. Radio TV Phono Nut on YouTube. He is hilarious. That's also where the PV factory once was. Now it's in China. Battery Maker says he's an ASMR junkie. Patrick says add some reverb to that bottle noise. How'd that sound through the phone speaker? I
Yeah.
assume you're listening through a phone speaker.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the reverb is not in the same line.
I don't have an
that's
effects
feeding the
loop
computer.
patched into the microphones. I just have the
Yeah.
mic. Basically, it's the console here, and it's the onboard mic preamps of the console, which feed the 528 microphone processors through a patch point. And then the patch point returns back to the fader input.
Can
That's
you shake
probably
my hand?
It's probably a video. No, you probably wiped your butt with it. It's probably a video I need to make.
I
Yeah,
want to
well, go ahead.
congratulate you again, Jordan, for burping on mic. Thank you for your
I didn't know
contribution
that was
to
a thing.
society.
Didn't know that was a thing.
You just contributed to society.
Does anybody know that Facebook Live is stereo or mono?
It's a wonderful question.
Patrick says he'll shake your hands.
Patrick, virtual handshake.
I can imagine him right now.
Oh, I'm Patrick, and I am shaking your hand.
Wow, my hand is red looking. So, yeah, it's approaching 10:42 or almost to 10:45. We're probably going to cut it at 10:45, although we could probably run over and it'd be okay. So, how's the audio sound? He said he legit did that. Battery
Patrick,
Maker says he's pulling his finger.
Patrick, thank you.
this kind of things
Thank you,
mean a lot
Patrick.
to this guy right here. He's hilarious. Audio is clean. We kind of klooched it together last minute.
Klooched.
We were supposed to use a sound card specifically for Ricky's computer. So right now we're literally feeding out of a headphone amplifier into the line input of his computer. It's a little noisy and it's not ideal, but it works. So, and honestly, for Facebook Live, it sounds banging. Better than most Facebook Live videos. So I'm proud of that. It's just the broadcast voiceover setup. That's what the studio is primarily used for. I make audio commercials and stuff for stations and a lot of my own work. And let's see. Beats Dixie Cups and String. Sure does. What do we got in the background here? So Patrick, if you thought I was crazy about vintage audio equipment, this guy right here has got me beat.
I'm a tape recorder guy. I like tape recorders. This one has not received a presentation on YouTube yet, but it will at some point.
You need to make a video while you're here.
It's the Akai X4 stereophonic 5-inch reel-to-reel tape recorder with 4 speeds of 15/16 inches per second, 1 7/8 inches per second, 3 3/4 inches per second, and 7 1/2 inches per second.
So let me explain to Patrick if he's still here with us, because he's not a tape recorder junkie like you and I. He's not going to know what the inches per second is. And what the inches per second refers to is how fast that tape, which is those 2 round reels you saw, travels. And the slower the speed, slightly lower audio quality, but you get a lot longer recording time out of it. Battery Maker says, Akai made lovely stuff. Do you have one of those Roberts stereo reel-to-reel towers in your collection?
I have an Akai M5 tower machine, which is from, I think, 1960.
Is that one of those units with like the dual separate amplifiers stacked on top of
Yes,
each other?
vacuum tube, and
Yeah.
it is actually under the Akai name. The original guy who gave it to me, actually, he gave it to me in. I fixed his 1971 or whatever Chevy pickup truck's radio for him, and as payback for that, he gave me the machine.
What'd you
back in
fix on his radio?
2005. There was a wire on the power output transistor that had come unsoldered. I soldered it back. It worked, and he gave me the recorder back in September 2005.
That's cool. I wonder
But
if it still
he
works.
bought it in Japan, and
Bought what in Japan? The truck or the?
the Akai reel-to-reel. So
Okay,
it's not
okay.
under the Roberts name.
Yeah, I
it
was
is
gonna
actually
say.
under the Akai name, which makes it all the more cooler,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Very cool. Well, guys, I'm signing off. Ricky might be on here for a couple more minutes. I appreciate everybody for stopping by and saying hi. Means a lot to me. Can't imagine how much it means to Ricky here. I was glad to be a part of this, and we should do this again very soon, perhaps tomorrow. What do you guys think about B&W DM550 speakers? I have no idea what those are. I know what B&W speakers are, and I generally hold them in a pretty high praise. They're good speakers usually, but I don't I don't know that model number, DM550. We love you too, Patrick.
We love you too.
Even if
Patrick,
Ricky hasn't met you yet.
I've never met you, but I can
My
tell
goal
that
is
you're
to
an
make you all
amazing
meet.
person.
He's hilarious. He really is. I mean, you've seen the blooper reels, haven't you? Some of them.
Patrick.
It's a small world of YouTubers.
Patrick.
This guy here's another YouTuber that I met, started watching his videos in middle school. And one thing led to another. We met and it clicked. And so now you kind of understand the gravity of YouTube. Gabe's YouTube says, still awake. Really enjoy these streams so far. Fun to be able to talk to you guys like this. It's cool. It's a really
Indeed.
odd interaction with YouTube. And I mean odd as in a good way. It's not a usual thing that I do.
And Gabe, don't
So-
forget to send me to my email, cassette26@gmail.com. You can send me an audio recording of your voice, preferably without much background noise, that I can then synthesize in 23 seconds or less size recording that I can synthesize.
You gonna put that on a
with
chip?
decoding. Yeah, I'll put it on an
Okay.
EEPROM and play it on YouTube.
Says he's been watching you since like 2009.
Oh, wow. I was 18 back then.
I've been watching his videos since at least 2007, 2008. I will, but I have to think of what to say first, of course. I mean, what Ricky, you might be able to do is create a script of
Maybe, I
recommended
guess.
words, like for the thermometer,
Yeah, I mean, this
Idea.
is my
Create a
voice
script and you
on a
say-
microchip.
certain numbers or certain things.
Well,
you know.
this isn't going to be concatenated speech. It's just going to be a playback. Concatenated speech, I had to do a whole process.
No, I don't mean that. I don't
reprogramming
mean that.
everything.
But like, they're going to send you words,
yeah,
which will be uploaded to the chips, obviously, to play back. Correct?
yeah,
Yeah. Just like your friends that were on there doing the temperature readouts and stuff like
yeah.
that.
But if I have specific words to be said, like the talking clock, that's a lot. There's a lot more involved because
Oh,
I got to
yeah.
get the
I would imagine
addresses. I
there's
got to
a
put
lot.
that in the program. I'm just going to be playing a regular voice recording.
He said he would love to voice one of your projects. That would be cool. I think it would be cool too. Patrick says he's going to subscribe to you. Patrick,
Thank you,
warning now.
Patrick.
It's a very technological video videos and honestly, I think you'd enjoy it. If you like my videos, you'll watch his and like his too, I'm sure. About to get some crunchy sleep. I don't know what crunchy sleep is, but it sounds good.
Yeah,
Hope y'all do
Yeah.
this again because I'll watch it. Yeah, we should do this again.
Indeed.
I'll probably announce it on Facebook, and you and I keep in contact on Facebook pretty often. Message me back, and we'll let you know what happens.
indubitably.
I was talking about watching SpeakerFreak since 2009. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you've been watching since then. I've been on YouTube since 2009. It is 2019, almost 2020. So I can't believe it's actually been
10 flaming years.
10 years on YouTube. It really, time has passed. A lot of things have changed. I went from a kid in middle school to a person who's went through college and gotten married and now has an apartment, not a full house yet. My own vehicle, a good career in electronics, lots of good friends, good close-knit community. I've maintained a lot of my core values over all that time. It's been a good life, and glad to have people on YouTube who still watch my videos after all this time. Means a lot to me, not just to make the videos and upload them, which was my original intent, just to upload them and show stuff off. It became more than that rather quickly. So pretty cool. Glad to hear from everybody. Gabe's YT, Gabe's YouTube. How do you want us to pronounce your name? Anyways, cool stuff. I'm getting tired. I'm starting to
Yeah, I think
pander a little
we should-
bit.
Yeah, I think we
Probably
should
need to
sign out.
wrap it up before
Yeah.
we tap it up.
Yeah.
Before it gets too late.
Yeah,
So either is fine, I guess. Well, whatever. Cool. What other audio guys do you watch? There's a lot of them. Max Arcade, although he hasn't uploaded in such a long time, but he still comments on some of my videos here and there lately, so I know he's still active. I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of them. CassetteMaster, obviously.
and Spats Bear.
Spats Bear's a good one.
And there's the famous Techmoan.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good. His videos are very thorough. Garrett Claridge. He's hilarious. You know who Garrett Claridge is?
And I don't.
What?
off the top of my head.
You don't? Okay, we'll fix that. Cool Dude Clem. Heck yeah, we
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, we're both familiar with him. I wonder what that cat's into. I haven't seen a video of his in quite some time. I think I'm still subscribed to him. I'm almost certain I am. I haven't seen a video of his in quite a while. So yeah, he's cool.
Indubitably.
One of those early 2000, early YouTube, early era of YouTube channels that I watched a lot. Does anybody, for some reason, I don't know why I'm thinking this, does anybody remember Smash Stuff 30?
Was he the guy that just? I remember
He
there
would
was
just
a guy
destroy
that,
things. I don't
I
know
remember
why.
there was a guy, and he was destroying a Panasonic cassette recorder, and I was very upset with it.
That's
and
why
there
he
was
did it.
another recorder, and he was very upset, or I was very upset with it. And I was just like, I don't like this at all.
If
I was so
there's-
mad. I did not like.
If there's
that at
one
all.
question I've always had about that guy
Pissed
is
me
where
off.
was he located? Not that that matters, but I've wanted to know what country he was in, and I don't know. I just one of those videos, one of those channels I watched a lot in early YouTube history. Oh, he does voices for his cartoon series. Somebody else remembers that guy. It was also the original HD channel. The guy was really odd. He really was.
Excuse me.
There in his later years, I don't know why I'm talking about
fine.
this. I guess it's a side effect of how tired I am, but I've also kind of wanted to ask other people, and this could be a good subject for my YouTube live stream at some point whenever I decide to do this. I don't know if anybody remembers, but nearing the end of his YouTube career, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2010, 2011, he started posting a lot of religious quotes and stuff in his videos. And like, do it now before tomorrow, because tomorrow is too late. And I always thought that was really weird. It was like doomsday prepper stuff. And it was very odd, very unusual stuff. I'm going to go ahead and head to bed with that note.
Okay.
Thank you all very much for watching. And yeah, it's been good. See
Indeed.
you all on the other side. By the way, I got lots of videos coming up, lots of projects to... Do you still have your Craig 212?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to roll it over to CassetteMaster. He's going to finish it up.
Okay.
I'm out of here. Good night, guys.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I still have the Craig 212. I also have a Sanyo MR 212, which is the same machine under the Sanyo brand. And to Gabe's YT, you can email me at cassette26@gmail.com. Samples to be synthesized, and then also if I want to send a sample for a project, 7 of them. Yeah, they're a very popular recorder. I've come across more than one. Yeah, I even gave one to, or traded one to someone one time. But anyway, yeah. Gabe, you can send me audio stuff, and then I can let you know projects that you can put your voice on for various things. But anyway, it's getting late. It's 10:54 p.m., 10:55 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we got to get up at a decent time tomorrow, go to that flea market. And so anyway, I bid you guys good night. Dark outside, sun's gone down, time to go to bed. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Of course, it'll be, archived where you can watch it later. It was a pre-recorded thing, so you're very welcome. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Yeet. Oh, and let me see the mouse.